Hey guys, it's Brittany again, and today I have a kind of life update video. I wanted to share with you guys my experience of my first 6 months of teaching and how that was for me. Now, for you guys that don't know, I am a middle school art teacher. So here's my educational background. So I went to undergrad and got a degree, a bachelor's degree in studio art, fine arts, with a concentration in ceramics and drawing. And then I graduated in 2012 with my bachelor's. And then in 2013, I was kind of in limbo. I was trying to find my way. I took a semester at Tech because at one point I was thinking about being what was that called? I was thinking about doing clinical psychology or something like that at one point. And then I decided that's not what I wanted to do. Later on in that year, I was working at this carpet cleaning job. I was like a secretary. And I was only there for a month and I got fired from that job. I was only there for a month and the boss called me in the office and I was just like, I wonder what he's calling me in here for. And he was like, I don't feel like you're catching on as quickly. You're not catching on as quickly as I want you to. I thought he was joking because I'm not the kind of person that, gets fired. I'm a hard worker. I've always done really well. Sometimes at the job, I would be studying for the praxis, but that would be in downtime and stuff like that. So he brought that up, but whatever. It was all for a reason because that same week that I got fired is when I took the praxis one and I passed it the very first time. So I feel like it was meant to be. So if you are, I'm kind of telling you guys all this just to, keep you encouraged and give you some encouragement, because just because you don't have it all together in your early 20s, you're not a failure. If you're kind of lost and don't know, can't really find your way, I just want to share my experience. So all that happened in 2013, and at the time I was 23. So I passed the praxis one, and then I got accepted into graduate school to become an art teacher because I had the bachelor's degree, so I was getting my master's, my initial certification to be certified K through 12. And so that program was about a year and a half, and that program was really good. My professor pretty much taught like all of my classes, and she was like my teacher mom. It really stretched me outside my comfort zone because you guys probably don't know, I have a long history of anxiety and being in front of a lot of people. All that kind of stuff really makes me nervous, even sometimes now, but I've grown a lot since then. So fast forward, I started the master's program in 2014 and I finished up December of 2015. So that was a year and a half program. I student taught from August 2015 to November 2015. I graduated in December, and I do quotations because I was technically finished, but we didn't walk until last month. And if you watch my vlogs, you guys know that. So I graduate in December, and then I upload my resume and everything on something called Sarah. That's what we have in South Carolina to let districts and stuff know that you're looking for a job. So when you graduate in December, a lot of people say it's difficult to find jobs, but especially for somebody that's a specialty area, like a related arts field, it's really hard to find teaching jobs. But I would try to be as positive as I could be throughout the process. So I'm telling you guys, probably an hour into uploading my resume, I got a call from a school that's about 45 minutes away from where I stay, and she called me in for an interview. And so the next week I had the interview, and then I think a few days later she told me I had the job. And so I graduated in December and got a job in December. And the same thing happened with Adrian because he's a graphic designer. He graduated in December, and then he got a job in his field in December. So that had to be God, because everybody knows it's really hard to find a job in your field. So me and Adrian both started our jobs the beginning of January of 2016 this year. And I just have to tell y'all, I knew teaching would be hard, but I don't think I was prepared at all for this. yes, I got a master's degree and all that kind of stuff, but y'all, this was the absolute hardest thing I have ever been through. Like, I'm telling you, maybe like 2 weeks in, I was already like, no, teaching is not for me. I want to quit. I wanted to quit so bad, but I'm under contract. And if you're under contract, you can't really, back out of it. You can back out of it, but I think your credentials or your teaching certificate would kind of get suspended or something like that. It was so difficult. I'm not a crier. I don't really cry that much, but I cried so much this semester. So the school that I'm in is in a district that is kind of rural, but it's also a poorer district than what I'm used to being in. The demographic of the students isn't very diverse, and I was the only art teacher, so yeah, and it's a smaller school, about 600 students, and I was the only art teacher, and this is my first year teaching, so it was very difficult. Something else that was very difficult was the older students, the 8th graders. They were some of my most difficult because I'm coming in mid-year, and they've been used to a certain teacher for the last 2 years of, their middle school experience, and I feel like I was probably more strict than the previous teacher, and a lot of our personalities didn't gel and everything like that. I had so much stuff going on, just difficult students, but it made me have a thicker skin and be a little bit more tough. It drained me of energy. Like, sometimes I would get home and then go to sleep, and that would be it. I would get home at like 4:30 and then just go to sleep the whole time and just wake up the next day and go to school. But throughout this whole process, my relationship with God got really strong. Like, it got really strong. If you guys don't know, like, I have been going, me and Adrian and my mom, we have been going to a church for a very long time. Maybe like me and Adrian have been going to that church for like 2 years, and then my mom a lot longer, maybe like 5 years. But they recently closed, and all of that was happening in the last 6 months, and it was just a lot going on. I mentioned that because I was so dependent on my church family and everything that I didn't really focus on God that much, if that makes sense. So my relationship with God got a lot stronger during this time, because when you are in a new situation and you don't know anybody, you feel really isolated, and sometimes I just didn't feel like people understood what I was going through. So I had to turn to God and ask for guidance and help, because seriously, every day I had dread and anxiety about going to work, and I just felt like I would never make it to summer. Yeah, but I made it. Here I am. My relationship with Adrian got a lot stronger too, because he was so supportive during this time. We're both going through new situations of, new jobs, grown-up jobs and everything, and he was just really supportive. Some nights when I would be crying, he would come to my house after he got off work and, just talk to me. And most of the time I would just be like a sobbing mess and just super sad, but those difficult times did bring us closer together. So I really appreciate this season of just growth and stretching myself outside of my comfort zone, because even though it was difficult, some really good things came out of it. Even though I had some students that didn't like me, I have like a ton of students that love me. I've just learned a lot about myself in all of this too. So if you are thinking about teaching, make sure you have the heart for teaching, because I don't see how anybody can do this and not love it, because it's so difficult, especially at this age. I'm sure elementary has their own set of issues, and as well as high school, but it's something about middle school that's just extra difficult. And if you ask other teachers, they'll tell you middle school kids are very weird, and they're just in a weird transitional phase, but it's also a good time to kind of help mold them and plant certain seeds that will help them grow once they get in high school and graduate. I would just be asking God, like, why am I here? Why did I decide to do this? Why are you keeping me here? So if you are thinking about teaching, just be prepared. Student teaching, I thought student teaching was hard. No way. And my student teaching experience was pretty difficult, but it pales in comparison to what actually having your own classroom is like. Now, you know, contracts went out in April to either renew your contract another year or, you know, not renew your contract. Now, I got offers from other districts and stuff to go there, but I prayed and asked God, like, should I leave now or should I continue? And I just felt this strong, I don't know, just this strong pull to stay there because the principal and the administration is super supportive and awesome. Even though it's a very difficult school to be in, but I feel like I'm there for a reason. Shout out to all the teachers out there, regardless of what you teach. I have a newfound respect for teachers. Like, oh my gosh, if you don't respect teachers, you need to. Like, you need to find a teacher and thank them because they do so much. If there's any other questions from people that are still, you know, in college and you want to know some more about my experience, please let me know in the comment section. If you're an experienced teacher, let me know what you teach, how your experience was your first year, and hopefully how it got better. I want to hear from teachers that they taught for a little while and then they, you know, changed their profession as well, because I'm very interested in that. My feelings about teaching after getting through the first 6 months, I feel like it's gonna get better, but I still don't know if teaching is something I want to do, like, you know, 10 years from now, because I do have other interests, but I feel like I'm going to get better and my situation's going to get better. So I thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it informative, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.